Hey everybody, welcome back to Materia D&D, session 140, part 2, where the Menagerie had some interactions with a newly forged celestial deep within the underground vaults of the Alabastars, the uh, the museum district essentially, or like the museum portion of the Lyceum district here in Whitlaw. Um, this new entity, which was given the name Chandra, or Chandra, excuse me, Chandra, um, had a drive to leave, but was able to, well, the menagerie were able to keep it occupied and distracted enough to where it didn't force its way out, but allowed time to be done for the powers that be to evacuate the Lyceum district in case of an emergency or aftermath of its departure. Um, and then eventually Chandra just managed to take the Emergent Point with her and bamf out of existence, returning most likely to the cosmic seas far above within the limitless or something like that, as she said. Um, so yeah, Menagerie managed to avoid a temper tantrum from a newly constructed celestial. So good job. So we pick up with the vault being unlocked, the barriers coming down, uh, research materials put back in place, individuals calling it for the day after a crazy experience, and um, Headmaster Butcher Yorn being called into a meeting by leader uh, Afuma and the band of mercenary heroes being asked to accompany them. So, what are the menageries doing?
Let's make this quick and painless, please.
Yeah. Time to get out of here, right?
Very well. Let's go back to the Whitlaw. Okay. So as you guys are brought up through the various uh, tunnels and walkways that lead down to the vaults, now going up, you do see some of the cleaning involved with what happened when we'll just call them the possessed, made their way down here. There is still some signs of blood and scuffling, but it is mostly washed away at this point, as the halls are stone, not necessarily very porous, so that the blood did not have much time to seep in, but that's beyond the point. Y'all are brought through another set of tunnels underground. Dragnar, you would pick up that it's a different direction and set of tunnels that you guys had traveled previously. And you actually walk over via the underground from the Alabaster repository over to the Alabastras, which is the accompanying. They share the same grounds, but it is the living quarters of the um, unveilers that curate the museums. And you're brought up through the tunnels and brought into uh, a central chamber where you are then led with Yorn, a couple of his associates, and Ofuma to a gathering hall, one that has uh, it's a circular room uh, with what do you call it? The ceiling has an open point, an iris open at the top
Skylight?
to allow, yeah, essentially, and um, but it is open. There is no glass on it. The daylight is coming through as you guys started your day fairly early, and you had been down there for hours, but you know, it's still not dusk yet. So, sorry, dusk, dawn. It's still not dawn. No, dusk. Yeah, dusk yet. My brain was like, wait, what direction am I going? And Ofuma, the Khemri leader of the Unveilers here, wishes to understand exactly what transpired, rather than the conversations from, you know, hearsay and from yelling across the barriers. Yorn gives him a rundown that the assigned team of uh, unveilers, curators, students, faculty, and heralds of exploration were logging and taking notes on the various artifacts from dig site 7A uh, in the open fields, giving him a rundown that it was a multi-set of ruins that had ruins underneath them, and the ruins on top were of like a settlement, pretty uh, unspectacular, but below is where they started to pull out the intriguing bits, um, the murals, the tapestries, the implements, and then the urns. And then he goes on to explaining that one of the urns shattered, releasing um, black powder, and within the black powder was that violet stone, which crashed into the floor and then merged itself. And he depicts, from their understanding, that was a one of these fabled origin points that I forgot who rolled really, was it Rock? Yeah, Rock rolled really well the previous session. And to kind of give you guys a recap as well, just in case if needed. Origin points are relics of old, relics be from before uh, written histories that um, essentially manifested within the various planes, not the here-betweens, but the various planes, uh, beyond the maze, beyond the ethereal here-between, and beyond the Feybind. And they are most likely first sourced from the Weave, a dimension that came into being the moment consciousness came into existence. And from there, it is where originally just the inhabitants of the Weave were generated from these little origin points. But as the times passed, factions developed, uh, groups and such developed, and it seemed like these origin points then were taken and scattered to different planes, and that Rock would be able to have pieced the pieces, it would have it helped to be able to piece the pieces together, stating that as far as the evidence shows and the notes and the different various dig sites show that there are three main factions that utilize it, or I guess races of things, and that would be the demons, which thrive on chaos and destruction, and quite literally anything happens, and they are the most likely the largest sect or the largest grouping within the Weave. And then you would have um, devils, which are often mistaken with hmm? Which are often mistaken with demons, but they are those that got tired of the chaos some time ago and sought to have some sort of structure. And they are the ones that carved a piece of the Weave out to make what is known as, well, the Hells. And then there is another sect that sought order and less of um, the manipulation and usage of potential and individuals, and those were become later known as the Celestials, and the Celestials built their space, sometimes referred to as Nirvana, amongst the cosmic seas that border the limitless. So, history lesson given aside, um, it is said that the origin, Afuma is brought to speed, that the origin point activated, and that supposedly some demons or devils, not entirely sure, um, were tracking them from the dig site, or perhaps, the infected were already there or killed. They're not exactly sure how the bloodletters got there, but that they sought to get control of the origin point, and they failed to do that. So,
So yeah, then what happened is basically your Orson and his fellas came in, made a mess, and then we kept another mess from happening. That's the way I see it.
if that's the
Yeah.
case, then very well. Good work.
Just happy
The
everything's fine.
the unveilers and, well, Whitlaw unknowingly is in your debt.
Not much of Whitlaw really has to know.
Hopefully, only those present will know, and I would like it to stay that way.
Me too,
How
actually.
about and your friends?
Is he looking at all of us?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll keep it within the menagerie.
I don't know. I wanted to start the cult of Chandra.
I
Said the
think
word.
I mean, I think Sedge is the Pope on that one. He literally named God.
Well,
as popes are wont to do.
I could
Well, I mean,
always I'm always going to keep the story in my back pocket for the spare bard or something, but I'm not gonna go around telling every town crier.
I would say to you, Karos, unexpected, unexpected to see you here once again, friend. But
You guys know each other? Oh wait, yeah, you said you. Never mind. I'm sorry. You did.
we met briefly before. It was a few years back, but it's good to see you as well.
hmm, well,
I guess better to see you now under the current circumstances than
yes.
previous.
Apologies if you would take them for my disposition and stern behavior, but you must understand there were many, many more lives involved than just those in the vault. So, uh, apologies for leaving a bad first impression, but perhaps you can put yourself in similar shoes to try to understand. Though I feel, based on the stories I've heard spun around, you've made some difficult decisions in the past. Regardless, you are capable. You have done a good deed, and for that, again, at least the unveilers of the Alabastras owe you debt. However, this leads to some concerns. Um, we are assisting the heralds with their investigations and trying to understand history. However, it is now a concern that, well, things might be interested in what was taken. With the increased hostilities over in the open plains beyond West Green, it is difficult to to find those willing to venture and collect information on what is happening. Rumors have it that a dispute amongst factions might spill over from the open fields into Kled eventually.
Which factions?
Ah, I believe it is falling royal court. Something about their matron or patron had passed away, and they have a group of their followers had found perhaps some relics of old and are using them to, well, assert dominance in the area, while another that lays loyal to, I don't know exactly who. It's kind of hard to gather information from that part of the world right now. But another faction seems to be at odds with them. Uh, the concern for the immediate concern is not necessarily uh, the dispute between the two groups, but by what means they use to um, instill their power. And if it is, as we suspect, that the open plains are a forgotten, how would I say it? A forgotten treasury of old magics and ancient relics. It is concerning that those that do not know how to use these things may abuse them, and the repercussions may spill over to other portions of Kled, the entirety of Rune, or perhaps all of Materia. I am, well, seeking those that might be able to assist.
I mean, you can just ask, right? That's what you're getting at. You want us to help?
Is he trying to hire the mercenaries?
Mhm.
It is how mercenaries operate.
Yes, but we just performed a great service to Whitlaw for free.
Fair. You will be given means of travel, equipment,
Oh, you'll
rations,
allow us to go to
supplies.
the next job. You'll pay for us to go to the next job. That's the pay, is to go do more work.
The pay is also to be able to, well,
How about an audience with the king?
The sovereign, you mean?
Sovereign. These titles mean
Yeah, he
nothing.
behaves like a king for sure.
We need to talk to him. We're here. Well, we're here for many
sovereign of
reasons, but one of them
exchanges.
is to talk to him.
What, did you wish to establish a trade route or something?
No?
Then why would he have interest in speaking to?
Why do you have interest in solving some dispute that isn't here?
Because unveilers are responsible for the acquisition and understanding of all relics and old, and making sure that, well, something akin to the War does not happen again.
Why do you need to know what we need to ask?
You
I
make a
think
fair
that's a stupid.
point,
I think it's still a
but
stupid question, but anyways.
it's a fair point,
A
but
favor is a
I
favor.
I may put in a word, but the sovereign doesn't listen
Well, we
to
can't just give. You can't. Well, it's can't just see an audience with everybody. The men's got enemies.
Kyle, we can kind of hear you crunching.
Oh shit. No, you're good. You're good. I like it. He's like, I can hear his brain thinking as he's crunching. How do I do this?
I think I was about to say something, and I was trying to rethink about the
Forget
last
about the
time we
mic.
were in town. So I unmuted because I was about to say it, and then stopped myself and gave my dog a chip. So then I needed chips.
Yeah, of course.
And
One good chip
That's the
deserves
law.
another.
so then I'll commit. I'll commit to doing what I was gonna do before. All right. So Carlos is just going to sign towards Davis
Oh,
and say, when we were first coming into town, didn't the Sovereign want to see us then? Like, we kind of snuck out. This is more for me elaborating to make sure I remember what we did. But didn't we, like, kind of sneak out of town because we were getting let in and the Sovereign wanted to see us? Or was it somebody else that was also a dick and we didn't like?
that
It,
wasn't the Sovereign of Exchanges that gave us the tour. Is that what you're thinking of? Okay.
No. I know the jerk that was leading us in, but I thought the reason he was parading us through was because
Kind of like
somebody
check
wanted
us
to
out.
see us.
I don't. I,
I can't
unclear.
remember. It's months ago, but that's why I felt like there was somebody like that was the whole. Yeah, obviously we had the clout of helping out in the town, but I felt like he was leading us to meet up with, like, oh, now the heroes have come to Whitlock, but let me escort you to.
you guys would have been a centerpiece for the festivities of the festival that was happening on
Okay,
the harvest festival, and there would
gotcha.
have been a chance for you to meet some higher ups.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know if it was actually ever stated that it would be a direct audience with the Sovereign of Exchanges because um as um the group here will kind of let you guys understand a little bit better is the Sovereign is but one of the council. There's the Minister of Justice, there are the other sovereigns. He just happens to be. It's
The
interesting
one
you
we
wish
want
to.
to punch. I didn't say that in character. I
Okay, gotcha.
texted.
Yeah, you
I
texted that. Yeah,
texted it. I texted it to
Texted it.
That's the one we wanted to punch.
yeah.
Yeah.
We wanted to punch the Sovereign of Justice.
Sovereign. Oh, that was. Oh gosh, I can look up his name.
Minister of Justice, Huan.
Yeah, Fafnir, right? I think.
Yeah, Huan Fafnir. So there's Huan Fafnir, Minister of Justice. There's Magiento Luster, the Sovereign of Exchanges. There is the sitting head of um the Unveilers, which is Bufuma. Um, then there would be the transportation officer, the I'm missing somebody. And there's one other person. I'm missing one other. I can't find it in my notes, but there's 5 members of the council.
Can't remember who was the one that we were like looking to talk to. Wasn't it the Justice one?
Well, so the justice one was the one. So Huan Fafnir, the Minister of Justice, he's the elven individual that met y'all at the southern gates and kind of paraded y'all through town. And then he's the one that Rock hates because he's prejudiced to the lizard folk.
Yeah, I hate him too now because
Yeah.
it's a rule. Lizard
Yeah,
people
yeah.
are great. But anyway, the we were like looking to get an audience or talk to one of them because there was some kind of corruption from the top. Who was that
That's the
specifically?
Sovereign.
It's the sovereign before
Sovereign
you guys
of Exchanges.
maybe
Sorry.
realize that the sovereign might have something to do with the eye.
Yep. And
Because this
also,
is before.
he let his daughter basically die. So.
Yeah. Amara was his daughter. I don't know if Sej and Karos
Yeah,
met
they may
Amara.
not have known.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. So Amara is the individual that hired Dregnar. And then Dregnar grabbed the menagerie to assist. After Dregnar
Well,
departed for a little bit.
all I wanted to do was gain an audience with the sovereign, but I guess it's a council, right?
It's Well, Witlaw is so large and it was established long ago as a crossroads. Crossroads needs no king, needs no singular ruler. We are responsible for the various aspects.
Was it hard
Justice,
to get a?
protection. Should not be too hard, however. Uh, I would say Magiento is not a most pleasant individual,
Are you on a
and
first name basis with him?
uh, share a council seat with him.
Yeah,
Oh.
this person's a part of the council, as I understand it.
Though I am the least, how would I say it?
Influential? No, come on
Political?
now.
I am the least influential as I have more, I have matters that I care about more. It's just my position as the head of the Unveilers leads me to have a seat on this council. But that is beyond the point. Perhaps I could get word to him, though I am curious again, though I respect that it is not for my knowledge sake, why you would wish to speak with him. Um, however, I could assure you that if you do
Well, for
assist
the,
with, Mhm.
do you trust in me to want only the betterment of people, especially
Mm,
Whitlaw?
no, I have only just met you,
Oh, goodness.
and you are a foreigner,
You
from
are
what I
so
gather.
hard to please, you know?
Well,
It
I mean,
comes
this is true,
with my
but you do
position.
know our reputation at the very least. I mean,
Yes. And I do know that at least the reputation says that there are others of you sprinkled around.
true.
So how do I know who is perhaps the most reputable amongst your group?
Well,
You
Don't
must
everybody look at
understand,
me all at once. Just kidding.
you are certainly
it
the loudest
depends.
of the group.
It
Thank you.
depends on
It's kind
what
of my
kind
thing.
of reputable you're talking about, to be honest with you.
Well, listen,
I'm
I
known
think
in a land far away.
that is good. Perhaps if we ever need to make associations and ties with that land far away, a mutual acquaintance in yourself will be beneficial.
Well, you know where I come from has a lot in common with Whitlaw. We're also a crossroads of trade throughout a continent.
Well, perhaps you could tell us how to run this place better then someday.
And what better topic to talk to about with the sovereign himself, right? He's a part of that facility here, as I
He
think you said.
concerns himself amongst the exchanges and the trades and the coin.
Well, maybe we just talk shop. That sounds like a
Perhaps.
pleasant time.
Perhaps we can get that arranged as a thank you. But I can assure you that a guaranteed meeting with him will be your assistance further,
Yeah,
as unpleasant as that sounds.
well,
You are
you would.
capable and, well, it would be beneficial. And
What is this task that you had again for this? I hope it's easy. Is it easy?
uh, it would, if it were easy, I would not seek out reputable heroes from multiple cities in the region. It is asking you to go into hostile territories with unknown threats, and the promise of survival is, well, you are your own promise of survival.
Yeah, we've been there, done that.
I I gathered as much. And
So,
it I would say it is well, it is a opportunity to get your name known beyond
Well,
Kled.
if everybody's okay with listening to more details about this venture, then I'm okay with listening to more details. Not saying we accept it, but
Yeah, how
I'll
about
look to my friends before we make any decisions, right? We want to hear more.
for sure? Yeah, if you have more details, I think now would be a good time to tell.
Can I just get 1 second privately before we catch up? Well, you can keep moving, and then we'll just catch up with you. We'll just back off a little bit.
I think we're in his office now.
Oh,
you're in a conversation chamber. Yeah, you're in a central chamber. But
we'll
who
be
do you need
right
to talk
back.
to? Who are you talking to?
All of us, our party.
So
Oh, okay.
asking him to leave the room basically is what you're asking?
Yeah,
As it is a
we'll just
larger
leave
group.
his. We'll leave
No,
his
no,
office real quick.
no. It's a conference room. It's a conference chamber. As I am the smaller group, I shall step out.
Thank you.
That's kind. It'll be just a second. So, guys, I'm kind of playing nice here. I don't really like that guy, but anyways, we that sovereign has a lot of dark arrows pointing to him. That dragon thing, spirits lingering. That dark energy is pointing right towards him, right? That line of that we were following points directly towards him. But the strange thing is, that's not the only thing pointing to him for corruption.
Oh, he's rotten.
And that's why we came back here, right?
It's one of the reasons. And I'll look at Dragnar and be like, he's got it coming. I don't know if he's got it coming now, but he's got it coming.
Something is evil within that man. It might not even be him. Maybe it's a demon in disguise. Is this something you guys wish to pursue? Al?
I do feel like the sovereign is one of our bigger goals at the moment. I would like to at least hear out what Afuma has to offer. Um, I don't see how right now, but if it could get us closer to him in some way, it might be the best next step. But I'm also still concerned with the storm as well. So I'm kind of just want to hear out the options right now and kind of weigh based on that. But yeah, sovereign, absolutely an end goal. We have to address that at some point.
If I remember correctly, the storm was it was like a spirit of vengeance from that dragon itself. And it was aiming for the sovereign if I
Well,
maybe I thought that in my head, but
at
It
least
was
Whitlaw.
definitely Whitlaw.
mhm.
It's kind of hard to triangulate it correctly.
Dregnar, do you have any thoughts about this, or you just down to root out corruption? Because that's kind of the smell I get from this guy.
Wait, yeah, that's your whole thing now, right? You're part of the candle lighters. That's what you're gonna do. Since you're a candle lighter now, you're gonna go in there and root out corruption. Is that what you're gonna do, huh?
We're gonna light some candles
Gonna
over
shine light
here.
on it, huh?
Hey,
Yeah.
Rock, we could get your best friends to come get in on this action.
Yeah, I think we need to hear what he's got to say, especially if it's going to be involving people who need our assistance. And if it gets us closer to, I kind of stop, pause, look around a little bit, take care of what we need to take care of here. I'm all for it.
Well, I do have a little bit of something up my sleeve. If we could get close enough to spend a night towards the castle or the wherever he spends his time, or in conference or something, I could peer through the ethereal plane and listen in confidence where he can't see me. Hopefully, maybe glean some
I
more
mean,
details
you
that he
sure?
doesn't know of.
Because like Rock can see
Never,
through the ethereal plane and stuff.
I've never tried it myself. I
Real quick, uh, can I cast detect magic and just kind of start walking around the room, seeing if it's I'll look for magical bugs or anything?
Sure. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so I just need to check a detail on something real quick then.
Hmm. Just kind of nonchalantly start walking around.
Yep,
The
yep,
table
yep.
itself is magical.
No. Oh boy. What's it? It is.
Hey, Rock, what's your third? What's? Or no, your Arcane Eye's like down right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Game day.
It's
Yeah.
Damn.
it's down for 7 days.
Shit.
Ugh.
It's all because of that
He's
stupid smell, right?
he supercharged it, right? So wait, why isn't the minute? Wait, sorry, Jones is kind of making it weird on my mouse. There it is.
Jones.
Damn you,
Like
Jones.
he was laying perfectly where like just some of his little bit of fuzz was just getting
Oh,
around the mic, so it's kind of making it act weird. Uh,
kitty cam.
mm, oh, all right. Be right back. Getting my cats inside. As you kind of light up your eyes, um, where's the little one? You in the hammock? Okay, I'll let you chill in the hammock.
Ponchik?
No, 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 the Ziggy, the littlest of little
Oh,
ones.
that's right. I
Oh
forgot you have a
yeah.
new one.
Yeah. So we have. Sorry, we
You have
have.
a new kitten? Excuse me?
Yes.
I cannot gloss over this detail. I'm
No,
pulling the stream right now.
I'll try to share him when we're wrapping up.
Okay.
What was that? No, they haven't seen Ziggy. And he's all excited. He'll haven't seen Ziggy. He's like, ee. Um,
For sure.
I guess. I'm
You did.
trying.
You did share some pictures at one point.
A creature can see invisible. Okay, so okay, never mind. So yeah, Al. So as you're kind of. Hmm? Okay. So Al, as you're kind of peering around and kind of looking, no, 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 nothing. No, there's no real senses of magic, other than what you guys have. Come on, Ziggy, come on in. Yeah, he's all happy to be inside. Nope, nope. There's no real blips of magic other than, as I always have to say, the stuff that you guys have on you. Um,
Mhm.
and there's a little bit of a blip from the table, but it's very basic magic. It just keeps it clean. It's just like polishing magic on it.
Al's gonna obsess over that now.
He's
It's like
he's gonna
Fantastic.
contest it.
it's basically like prestidigitation enchanted into the wood, so it just doesn't get dirty.
I was gonna pour a little bit of his water skin on it and watch it like dissipate.
Heat up. It's Thompson's water
Yeah,
seal.
yeah,
Wow.
It just balls up like Rain-X.
well,
Um,
sorry, not that exciting, but that is what it is.
no, Al will be completely um distracted by that, and he'll take off Hans and ask Hans to continue searching for iffy stuff.
Oh shit. Okay. Wait, are you attuned to Hans? No,
Oh
right?
shit!
It's cosmetic right now.
You're right. I swapped it with the
Okay,
locust.
so
Okay.
Hans will for cosmetic, he'll run around, but he won't find anything.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause I'm not gonna. Yeah, he's not attuned. So
Sounds good.
he's running around. So, uh, anything else you guys wish to discuss amongst yourselves?
So basically, we're deciding. We'll hear him out. Then I'll say we just need to. We'll sleep on it and let him know in the morning. How's that sound?
I'm okay with that. I'm okay to agree to it myself. I want to get closer to this guy. And like I was saying, I have I can step through the folds quite far, actually, if I remember this correctly. And
Just be careful.
yeah. But that's something that I should do at night or something when we're in a place of comfort. Because I have to leave my self behind for a time while I do it.
Gotcha. It's one of those. Okay.
Right. But I'm Just wanted to make sure everybody was on board before I like make decisions. I don't usually make decisions, right?
I think best course of action. Yeah, listen, sleep it over.
Sure. Suki?
You mean
Sorry,
Karos?
Karos. My bad.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why for me that just like really right there felt like a World of Warcraft raid because that's what his character was. And first time someone else said his name other than Suki, and I was like, oh, we're playing WoW again. Okay, let's do this.
I did
Turns
not
out,
get the expansion. No.
no.
Yeah, what is it? Dragon something? I don't remember.
Yeah,
Dragon
dragons
Flight
now.
or
Flight.
whatever.
Yeah, that's
Like
right.
a whole new race that's also its class. That's from what I heard.
I don't know. Yeah, not paying attention to it, so we're good.
But we
Alright.
digress.
Yes, we digress to things that are more important. D&D. So, guys, do you have anything else you wish to discuss amongst yourselves? You guys have time, so.
Anybody else have anything before I call the cat back in?
He's not a
As
cat.
one would say.
Is that a
The
cat?
came back. We know people who are cat-like.
Yes.
He's not one of them.
No. Okay.
It was a
Um,
metaphor. My bad.
Oh,
very well.
Davis doesn't handle
So,
metaphors very well.
oh yeah, no, he doesn't.
Metaphor
the-
what?
Hey-o.
Hey.
Davis is like, I didn't see a cat.
Yeah. He's not quite
So,
Drax the Destroyer, but there's definitely an element of that.
wow, a
Celestial
Marvel
really mess
reference
with your
from
brain.
you.
For
Wasn't
me,
expecting that.
I like the Marvel cinematic stuff. Yeah,
That's good.
anyway.
Yeah, I just wasn't expecting it. Very well. So, as says, uh, knocks on the door, lighting.
Oh, I was just gonna literally whistle. Just be like,
That
come back
works.
in.
Okay.
We're good.
Afuma and Yorn, accompanied by two of the Unveiler guards, will walk in. I hope that
So you
was
need
a
some. So you need
mm,
something dispatched.
dispatched, not necessarily. I hope it was a fruitful discussion. I seek just assistance in one, getting some of the remaining heralds of excavation out from the various sites to more of the actual mission would be to try to understand what are the two factions that have developed after the matron's demise and what instruments of old they are utilizing.
So it's one of those dig sites.
Is it?
Well, it would be one of various dig sites, but it would be setting to the plains from West Green.
I see.
West Green is, as Karos would be able to inform y'all, is a border town on the from Kled and the open plains.
Well, I don't think many of us would know our way around there, so presumably you'll provide, navigation of some sort or even transportation, etc. to get there and
Transportation, of course, navigation, yes. Perhaps even means for lodging. We have associates and contacts.
The whole suite, and that's appropriate because it doesn't sound like a small undertaking at all. Provided that one of these dig sites, probably definitely not this one on geography, but one of these dig sites just unearthed a newborn celestial of all things.
yeah, he
That's
saw it.
But I mean, these artifacts that these families are using come from the same ilk of these artifacts that born a new celestial. So this is no small feat.
Yes, and we are hoping to understand what they have at their disposal, as it were it to not spill over into, well, Kled and perhaps the rest of.
So, if these
Or-
heralds, so remember, the messes on the floor in the alabaster, uh, what is it? The alabaster what?
Repository.
Repository.
It's the vault of the rest. Yeah.
Sorry, the vaults.
Mhm.
Remember, those were heralds. Many of them were heralds as well. Should
Yes,
something like that have happened to these other heralds, I trust you understand that we will do whatever we have to do.
they will be dispatched. Absolutely.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I was about to ask actually, what is your preferred outcome, right?
Preferred outcome um, would be simple. The stability of society.
Well, I
Well
mean,
said.
do you prefer them
Uh,
alive?
It's
Oh
hard to have
no,
society without people.
I, I I I would prefer to understand what are the machinations on either side on our western borders.
If we show up and they're using these artifacts for pure good, do you want us just to come back and report or something?
I would be astonished as there are bloody raids occurring in the open
You know
fields.
what? We have ways of reaching out to you, and if we find something like that, we will let you know. Again, this is all assuming we accept, which we haven't officially yet. We're still going to discuss it. But
Do as you wish. I just implore you to understand that, well, I know a name is important to some of you, and it would certainly help your name.
oh,
But
we
on
understand that.
the but on the other front, you have well proven yourself within our borders.
Well,
Perhaps
we wish to at least sleep on it for one night.
This is going to be lost on most people, but when he says you have proven yourself within our borders, I'll actually like gently nudge Al. Because we absolutely didn't prove ourselves the first time we were here. We did quite the
oh yeah,
opposite.
yeah,
We
well, yeah.
fucking
Yeah,
failed
yeah.
hard.
We don't talk about that.
Did you guys have to escape? I can't remember.
No. This is before the campaign even started.
Yeah, this is part of their
We
backstory.
were we came here as a band to perform to like a big crowd for once instead of like a little side small town, and we bombed, super bombed.
Mm. Well, yeah, I got booted round one. We're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, we're just like, oh well,
My
shit.
life work.
Literally
Yes.
broke up the band as a result.
Yes. Um,
Fetch.
but it is a
Sage.
chance. Yeah, it is a chance for you to make a reputation outside of our borders, and perhaps, well, do even a greater good.
Well, to do away with the formalities and talking, we wish to at least spend one night to mull it over together.
Absolutely. You may have as you have as much time as you need. I
I'm I'm personally inclined to take you up on your offer, but more of us need some time. We like to spend some time to mull it over, but we'll be in contact with you tomorrow. But
very well.
with some informal chats. So how do you feel about trade? Do you like it?
The practice of trade.
Yeah, the facilities, the
Very well.
you
When it
know.
The
comes to the exchange,
concept.
very well.
Like, wow.
In short, when it comes to the concept of exchange of knowledge and betterment, I am for it. When coin becomes involved, it is a unnecessary construct that is a burden.
I understand.
So it is a evil that is part of well our society's construct, and we
Yeah,
must.
logistics is so boring.
Uh, it is a trifling mess, yet made itself important by well its own self. Interesting. Though I would say one thing that I must emphasize as well when if you do take this up, things you uncover and discover and well encounter, uh, hopefully they will be much more mundane and it is just simply marauding hordes seeking blood and vengeance or something. But if the activities in the vault are to indicate anything, and old texts and documentations and that are pointing to the old open plains as ripe with abandoned mages' towers, ancient relics, and forgotten ruins. Perhaps you will find things of interest for yourselves there as well.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And as you have a track record of good, at least in the vein of keeping society afloat, I trust you will know what to do with what you find.
We certainly have proven to not be a danger, at least a public danger, with such items.
I don't think CJ's awake, but I 100% am staring at Rock when he says set to see Rock, how Rock reacts to that.
I'm totally fronting so hard about Rock.
I know. That's why I brought it up.
There's one guy, actually. I'm kidding.
There's one guy who literally has a portal into it. No, I'm kidding. So with that, as you guys, if you have anything else to say, go for it.
Yeah,
If
sure.
not,
Actually, I'm
Yeah.
gonna,
Okay.
if I may, approach and like put my arm around his shoulder and be like, I don't know how well you know of us and our deeds, but you spoke of risk earlier, and you're taking a pretty big risk, I think, sending people like us to, take out or take care of things that you say are very dangerous, so dangerous that you worry for the region. And I want you to know that I think you're making the right decision, but I do understand that this is a risky one. That's all. But I think you're doing the right thing.
I would hope that I am. Thank you.
Do you know of us? Like, do you really? Like, what have you heard?
Uh,
I mean, you must have heard something. You're to
I
to
heard of
pitch this
a
to us.
very well. I have heard of a band of no names that had come together
It's fair
from all corners of Maroon,
and beyond.
apparently and beyond now, that stumbled in on a mess, saved a small town, and then happenstance would send them into a much more developed portion of our nation, where, if my understanding is correct, thwarted the potential mass genocide of an entire populace within a region
Yep.
to some sacrifice to the sky or something.
Something
The
I'm
details
thinking.
get fuzzy. Yes. So, and now you have members helping to rebuild the southern portion of one of those establishments. And on the eastern front, you assisted the candlelighters in extracting a cult, and one of the members of the trustees is to be set on trial as a cult member and to answer for centuries of, well, corruption. I'm missing anything?
I.
I'm sure I'm missing some things.
You've done your homework, guys. He he's done his homework. He knows. He's heard of us. I'd say that's pretty good. Well
You're
done.
like an
It is.
information broker.
I mean, I hate that wasn't
Do you,
the whole reason for this, but it certainly feels good to hear someone else kind of list all the good things we've done, doesn't it? And then again, I know CJ's not here, but I'm still sort of looking at Rock. But good. I'm glad you're not coming into this uninformed about who we are and what we do and what we represent. So I'm glad that actually makes me feel better that you really do kind of understand what we represent. So,
Well,
and I hope it makes you feel better that we, or at least I personally, was hoping you weren't making a bad decision without knowing us, but you do seem to know us or know of us. So, and maybe
know
you will
of
get
you.
to know us at some point.
and I get a good feeling from you, you know, we could be friends someday, but I have some kind of weird feeling about you that you, oh, who you lost? I get a
Tia.
good feel, I get a good feeling about you, such like, I feel like you do a lot more for Whitlaw than Whitlaw will ever know,
If I
for
may,
some reason.
if I may implore my ego, I do a lot more for Rune than Rune will ever know. But that's beyond the point. Thank you. And please sleep well. Mull over your decisions. Um,
I might just let you know our decision over message so we don't have to, we could skip all this time wasting formality, you know?
if you wish. Uh, but I would say if you do agree, we would still need to establish a
You have to coordinate.
departure point. Exactly. Um,
One last question on the note of saving time.
Real
Um,
Columbo vibes here. But just one more thing.
One
Oh,
more thing.
just one more thing right before I leave here. Why'd you
had I
shoot
have
that guy in the head?
God, I haven't heard of Columbo in ages.
Oh
Jeez.
god.
Okay, what's the one more thing?
The
And
with
then
everything going on in the Lyceum district. Would you happen to know if Whitlaw has say a teleportation circle of sorts, or is that a little too risky in a town like this?
Officially, there are a number of teleportation circles that the public are unaware of.
Interesting. Is there any way we could perhaps get some information on or gain access to one per se?
In the immediate, I will have a discussion.
Okay, it'd be very helpful to have that information before leaving town.
Very well. So I assume it is safe to say that in your group there is at least one of you that is capable of utilizing some of the arcane relic.
Certainly.
Interesting. Very well. I will speak to those that can grant you access.
Thank you.
Fair enough. Is there anything else? Very well. Menagerie, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Oh,
We'll
thank
Thank you
you.
for your
speak to you tomorrow morning.
And thanks for letting us speak in confidence really quick. That was very nice of you to do in your own office.
Hmm.
It is a pleasure. One thing I will add as you depart.
Just one more thing.
Reminder. What happened in the Lyceum district?
What happened? I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly. You just heard that the individuals needed to be evacuated.
Yeah, it's public
Oh, we
safety,
were
you know?
evacuated as well.
Yeah.
Yep, everybody.
Perfect.
Looking for material to write new songs, and today was a very, very boring day. No material.
Didn't even get to go see the museum like we wanted to because everybody got evacuated.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Excellent. Seems you know how to do things. And as you guys are leaving, Karos, you are the last one to leave, and Afuma will kind of step up to you, or walk in parallel with you, and say, you know, once all this is done, you could go home, see what's happening, my friend. And turns away.
Have you heard anything recently?
I just have concerns that perhaps the raids will spill across the waters into your home.
Carlos kind of just stand there for a minute. Well, provided it's nothing more than, well, provided it's nothing like we've come up against so far since I've met up with these folks. I think my home will be able to handle themselves, but I guess we can see for ourselves, and hopefully your concern is overwarranted. But I appreciate the concern.
Of course. I hope you
Be
find
well.
light and stay safe.
Oh,
Be well.
sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. It's just,
Yeah,
it's-
same thing. All right,
Thank
very
you.
well. All right, rest well. Okay, and with that, we're gonna go ahead and sunset session 141 as the menagerie heads back to fucking Mads.
Fucking Mads.
All right. What's the phrase to get in?
Patas is one tough broad.
There we go.
One
Okay, got it.
final thing.
Okay,
Jesus.
what is it,
My bad.
Columbo?
All right, just one more thing before I go here.
Hey, what is it? Or was that a joke?
Or
One
did you
more
have
thing.
an actual thing?
Oh no,
Oh,
I was
okay.
totally joking.
Perfect. All right.